Hello everybody, it's Noob, and do you know what? It's about bloomin' time. Sparrows have finally made a set of Dimple picks. Why am I saying finally? Well, do you know what? We haven't had much choice before now, you know, in terms of pricing and quality. We either had to go more towards the kind of imported, usually Chinese-made Dimple picks, which they have their place, but my goodness, do they need a lot of work in terms of finishing? I mean, hours to be, rounded off and smooth and ready for picking. So you've got that end of the spectrum, relatively cheap, but so much work. You know, if you just want to get into dimple picking and you didn't have a lot of time, didn't have a lot of tools, were maybe new to the locksport and just wanted something that worked straight away. The other end of the spectrum are really expensive hand-finished dimple picks. So there's nothing really in between. There's nothing that gave you really excellent value, but didn't cost the earth either, and was already finished. And I think that this is what this set did. So they call these the Black Flag, and they come in this kind of cool case. The bottom bit is just for these tension tools, and the top bit is double-sided. It's got a flap there, and you can store these in here. So it's kind of cool if you like the case. I quite like the design on this. It's very much in the Sparrows way of doing things. But enough about the case. I mean, the case is lovely, but I mean, you know, we're not really there for the case, are we? We're here for the dimple flags, and these are, wait for it, $39 US. It's about £29. And I think that's just phenomenal value for what you get, genuinely. So let's start with stuff which we don't want to dwell on too much, but is very important nonetheless. You've got these black stonewash tension tools, and they are made of a very tough, very magnetic metal. I imagine they're made of a very tough steel. I've tried to flex these, and they are flexible, but not very flexy. I mean, they are really stiff. They convey feedback extremely well, and the best thing is they're not all the same. They are all Z bars or Z wrenches, but they are a multitude of different thicknesses, and I wager that you'll be able to tension pretty much all your common dimple locks out there. This one in particular is really cool because this one's good in multi-locks, and you can use it as a, when this is in the open keyway, you can use it as a guide. I think Lockpicking Lawyer actually showed everybody how to do that some time ago. Now, I have to admit, I've reshot this video because I saw Bosnian Bill's video on this, and it's excellent because what he does, he actually does what I just don't want to do, really. He did it for us, which is he stripped one of these back. Please go check out his channel. Go search for Bosnian Bill's Black Flag review. I might even link to it myself. And you know, he cuts this away, and what's fascinating is that this is all one continuous piece of metal inside here. And I tell you what, they're not heavy, but they feel like they're hard. You know, this is a good hard rubber on the outside. It's not squidgy. Got a really nice grip and feel to it. And it's quite nice to have something which is a bit angular as opposed to round. It sort of feels a bit more grippy in your hands. But yeah, it's really very comfortable. Genuinely, it's a very comfortable sort of grippy but not sticky feeling pick. And what do you get then? What do you get with this Black Flag dimple set? Well, apart from some nice handles, you get superbly finished shafts. Look at this. Look how well rounded that is. It's so well finished. You know, this would take somebody, well, I don't know, a set of files and some sandpaper. I'd say about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes per pick, in my experience anyway, doing this myself. That is beautiful. And they're all the same. You know, they're genuinely all the same, all beautifully rounded. You also get 3 varying depth and thickness, let's call them left-hand flags, 3 on the right, and 1 flat flag in the middle. And what I mean by that is that it's not got a handedness. It's just a flat piece of metal. as opposed to something like this where you can see that there is the shaft and then it goes to a flag at the end. Let's just take one side. They're mirrored, so you can see how we got like a curved flag and then a deep thick flag and then a nice thin flag there. So you know, we all like to customize our picks. You might want to take a little more off these or make, you know, customize them a bit to yourself, but I've used them a couple of times and I have to say they're very, very useful out of the pack. Compared to some of the cheaper ones, the metal is a little bit more flexible, but I think that's because of the roundness of the shaft. Usually the ones which feel stiffer are like really chunky square things which you need to file down anyway. And yeah, look at this. Look, you can see how all of them are beautifully rounded. You know, just really, really good attention to detail. So yeah, I mean, I just can't think of anything which is anywhere near as well. I mean, literally anywhere near as well finished and well put together for this price range. I mean, Sparrows have just hit it right, I reckon. You know, in terms of finish and price, it's a wonderful set if you want to get into Dimple lock picking. Any improvements? Well, I don't really mind that there aren't any sort of markers to tell you where your pick flag is. Some people do. I'm sure you could put a sticker, a little hole, some kind of paint on the tip if you're really that bothered. But the one thing which I would improve is, well, this is probably the best example to show you, is I would file all the flags into a chisel tip. So instead of it being sort of you know, flat and square like this, it'd be sort of chisel tipped to a point. Not like as sharp as a knife, but certainly you know, either side here and here. I would file that down so that when I slide it in over the tops of pins, I'm not sort of butting up against the tip of the pin. I can just slide over the tip. So that's one thing I'd do. Probably take me about, for the whole set, probably about 10-15 minutes with a bit of care, with a file and some sandpaper, and that's it. Then you're done and they'd be pretty much perfect. The only other idea I had was they've got this awesome little Sparrows keyway logo. So there you go, it's like the little brother of the one on the pack. And I was thinking that it'd be really cool to have like sort of, I know, a black one for the flat flag, red ones for the left hand, and white ones for the right hand. You know, so keeping within theme. That would be kind of I think cool for me. But you know, there isn't really much more to say about these picks. They're just really nice to hold, really nicely finished, good selection. You got your left, you got your right, you got your one in the middle. They just need maybe a little filing at the tips to finish them to how I personally would like them. You know, a little chisel tipped as well. But other than that, they are generally just so smooth and round. They're just lovely in the locks. You know, they don't catch, they don't pivot weirdly in the lock. Just really nice. And you know, do not underestimate having a really nice set of strong steel tension tools, because you know, some of the ones I've got they're all right, but you know, they just feel like they're made of some awful kind of pot metal, and these don't. These feel really solid. So there you go. So you know, if you're looking for a set of Dimple flags, you want them, you know, pretty much out of the packet finished, and you want a real bargain, I'd definitely recommend you go check out the Sparrows Black Flag picks. All right, hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time. I'm off to go pick some lots with these. Bye.